Right, let me refresh my stream so I can see. Here we are. Wow. Hold on. I see a brick. Sorry, all Lego is holding us up once again today. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me all right? I hope so, because I've actually put my phone there upside down. But fingers crossed, it's there. So who's in the stream? Who's in the stream? Brilliant, Aaron. Brilliant, you can hear me. Excellent. Matthews, quickly, would I go to Nottingham Goose Fair again? Every year, without a doubt. Going every year. I'm going to try and go whole. I say this year. Cross all our fingers. Raj UK, evening. I am well. I am awake today. I'm ready to go. I've got my after eights. I was going to try and hide them, but I can see them on there. I'll say I'm going to start eating them after 8, but you can see I've already started eating them. So that's not good. And I've got a little beverage as well. So I want to do a slightly different stream. To certainly a Q&A. By all means, fire your questions, then I don't really mind. I'm going to try and keep up with the stream as we go. But let me just show you this. So that is my extensive collection of maps, which I collect over the years. And I'm going to show you through some maps. Because I do actually have some rare ones. They're not all just sort of, recent year ones. I have some rare ones. I want you to join in. I want you to let me know what maps you've got. We're looking UK. We might come across an American one today, but we're looking UK. I want you to let me know what maps you've got, whether you've got the maps I've got, whether or not there's something I'm missing that you can help out with. I want everything. So come join us on the stream. Theme Park Extreme, welcome. Theme Park Magic, hey. We're going to kick off. Very, very shortly. Molly, great to hear from you, Molly. I hope you've been to Chessington this year. I hope you've been already. Michael, hi. Right. So I'm going to randomly pull things out. I'm going to be kind of moving. O2 Tier, hello. And yeah, I want to show you some of the maps. I want to show you some of the things I've collected. Now, quite funnily, where I park at, I don't think that's a word. Anyway, where I park at work, some of the ladies that I work with managed to walk past my car and said, "You've got an awful lot of maps in the back." They're the boys' maps. So the boys have maps in the back of the car, on the kind of the seat bit at the back of the front seats, and they look at them for long journeys. They constantly look at them, they play games and they do all kinds of things. So yeah, I kind of want to show you which ones we've got. Michael, I'm very well. I'm really looking forward to this. I love the old stuff. Anthony, Webmaster 11 get first. The oldest map I have is Full Park 1990. I don't have that. Chessington 93 I have. I think it will come up. Anthony, do you think it's alright for adults to wear seatbelts on carousel? Funny enough, there aren't many parks that insist on you doing it. There are some. I know there are some that insist on you doing it, but I don't think it's needed. Most of them you can stand next to. The Blackpool carousel you can't stand on, which is a bit weird. I know the Derby racers, I kind of agree on that. I think it's lethal, absolutely lethal. Little G World, hi there. David, show me your map and I'll show you mine. I don't believe you got any, David. I think you should start drawing some maps of the fairs, I think that would really help out. What do you think? Oh yes, I've gone sponsored by Marvel today. Right. So I have a box. And I've just snapped another box doing it. I'm going to try and bring some out. I just want to say, these are in no order whatsoever. They are thrown in there and they are, from all kinds of various years. As I said, you'll see some that you'll recognise straight away, and you might see some that maybe you don't, you haven't seen before. And as I said, there are some rare ones in there, and there are some not so rare ones in there. And I know that some people don't have a lot of the half-term maps. I see that certainly for Chessington World of Adventures. And you know, my specialist part, like Chessington, I have a lot of maps for Chessington, and I do pick up duplicates. Obviously, pick up duplicates. So yeah. Let's just start. I'm going to grab a handful actually, grab a few, and we'll go through a few at the same time and see exactly where these bad boys have come from. Wow. Okay. Just bags. I just have bags, you know. I just have bags. Right. Michael Lockley Videos, thank you very much. I hope you're a subscriber. David, you do have maps, A to Z of highways. Again, it's GPS. Who has those? What will happen with the trip to Chessington Wild Adventures after March around July time? Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be good. Rebecca, do you have any maps from when Terra Tombs at Chessington? Yes. Yes, I do. And we will hopefully get there. You will see them, So I'm literally pulling out, I have bags and I have all sorts which I'm going to pull out. And the first one to put on the table you might be able to see is from Alton Towers. Can we guess the year? Can we guess the year on Alton Towers for this map? So this was a half-term map when rides used to be open. Rides would be open. A little bit closer for you. Look at these, look. So this is actually 2012. So 2012 half term, they had Nemesis open, they had a Runaway Train open, they had Duel open, the Blade, Oblivion, Sonic Spinball as it was then. There was no X Sector then. But yeah, love that, love that. Save money, yeah, have to save money at Theme Park. I do have a good guide on there. There is a good guide on the channel already. I have a Chessington info booklet from 1995 for Summer Nights and Fright Nights. I don't think I've seen that one either, to be honest. Good Theme Parks Front 6, Alton Park, 100% all the way. And then I believe this is the map as well for Alton Towers as well for that year. Let's just see if the smiler's on it, that'll give it away. So yeah, that is the 2012 map. So how far do your maps go back? How far do your maps go back? Alton Towers Scarefest map. Do you collect the other maps? Do you collect the ones that just sort of, appear in the meantime? Aaron, yes, of course, you can have a shout out. Thanks for coming. Gulliver's, yeah, Gulliver's is a good children's park from 6 actually. Well spotted there, aren't they? Well spotted. Now, of course, we actually get to go to a few bits and pieces as well. So this isn't one everyone would have seen. This is the press invite for Darren Brown's Ghost Train. So when obviously you go to these press events, you get a few rides as well as going to that. Back here you used to get a free bar. That turned nasty, honestly, that turned nasty. With Ride Stealth, Rush, Colossus, Nemesis, Saw, Tidal Wave. I don't know why Tidal Wave was open at 7 o'clock at night. Storm Surge and the Dodgems were all open with Darren Brown's Ghost Train opening from 8 o'clock. And of course, if you didn't know already, Fort Park used to have a half-term event. Half-term event as well, but we'll come to a map shortly, and this was the map exclusively produced just for that evening. So again, if you didn't go on that evening, this is a rare piece of memorabilia that you may not have seen. Best time of year to go to the theme park, either just as they open or late September, early October. Favourite ride at Alton Towers, I do like the Wicker Man, but it is Nemesis all the way. Oh, that's some random maps in here. Some random. Look at that, look. That is a Blackpool Pleasure Beach match. Tony, welcome. I am fine. Thanks for coming along today. Now, I have to say, my knowledge on Blackpool isn't where it should be, so I actually don't know what year this map is. There's no icon on it. Answers in the comments. What year is this map? What year is this map? Hopefully you can see it with the glare. I'm not sure what year this map is. I want to say it's a couple of years old. Oh, there we go, 2016. 2016, that map. I've got a few maps from Theme Park called Black Gang Chine, Isle of Wight. Yes, I did Black Gang Chine and Robin Hill in 2000 and... Did I do it in 2018 or did I do it last year? I think I did it in 2018. I rode the toboggan for the very first time at Robin Hill. It was cracking. Absolutely cracking. We have some Creely maps. Who doesn't like a bit of Creely? And of course, we also collect the zoo maps from when we go to zoos, woodlands, parks. Right, first Halloween map comes from Chessington, A World of Adventures. 2016 at Chessington. And this, I believe, was the debut of the Halloween event, rather than just the sort of, what do they call it? Just Halloween, wasn't it? Of course, Chessington didn't have much going on, but it was also when the Winter's Tale really started to wind up. I hear there'll be a new Disneyland in Kent in 2024. They're talking about something. Sadly, don't think it will be Disney, really don't. Brick or Treat from the same year in 2016 as well, which was from Legoland Windsor. Who doesn't like a bit of Legoland Windsor? And Fright Nights. Fort Park Fright Nights. Loving that. Absolutely loving that. And of course, this was the time as well for the Big Top, when the Big Top was new with new scenes. I believe this is when it moved off the island and down to, I say that, have a look at the map, I suppose, couldn't I? Big Top, Big Top, Big Top. Big Top? I can't even see it. Yes, so that's when it moved down to Lost City. So that is when Big Top was arguably one of the best mazes Fort Park have put out so far. Absolutely mental, absolutely mental. Picked up a few of those, I'm not going to lie to you. When we went up to Extreme Screen Park, we picked up a nice Twin Lakes map. I have to say, I've never been to Twin Lakes during the day. I hear it's a wonderful park to visit, but I've never been to Twin Lakes during the day. And then, of course, we always stop in for Scarefest on the way back. And of course, this was the opening year of Galactica, the failed VR attempt of Air. Yes, it was a fail. I'm really, really sorry. It was a fail. Oh wow, they can pick up some random pot badges. Kurt, this is where all the pot badges are that we need to trade. Of course, 2016 also saw the opening of the Lost Kingdom at Portland Park. Love the Lost Kingdom at Portland Park. Absolutely love it. Right, so I'm going to try and dig out some older stuff now, because 2016, I should hope you guys... Were you visiting theme parks in 2016? Let us know in the comments, were you visiting theme parks in 2016? Alright, okay, wow, look at these little Quest ones, I remember this. Now I have to say, my Alton Towers memorabilia doesn't go back as far as what it could do. I do have an original 1994 map, which hopefully we'll come across with Nemesis, and that was from where I actually rode Nemesis. Terrified the life out of me, it's my sister's fault. But you know, the half-term event used to be really, really popular. I mean, really, really popular. This is when they had mushy monsters. I'm going to dig out a picture of Kurt having a picture of a mushy monster, because it was absolutely hilarious, to be honest with you. It really, really was hilarious. And you can see, you know, the amount of rides they used to open during February. Again, Sonic Spinball, Runaway Train, Air, Nemesis, The Blade, Duel, all open for February. And now they can't string anything together. Nothing at all. We got both maps from 2009. So you have the Ordinary map, and then you have the Scarefest map as well. We visited in 2016, me and his sister Zoe, luckily got Toon Blaster when it closed. Love a bit of Toon Blaster. 2009 also saw, I think it was the last time I stayed in the Alton Towers Hotel, was 2009. Really was a long time ago now. And of course, there were two maps for 2013 because of the late opening of the Smiler. If you didn't know, there was a pre-opening Smiler map. And then there was a Smiler map once it opened. So yeah, love that, love that, love that, love that, love that, love that. And then of course, the Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Oh my God, the Sanctuary. So who went on the Sanctuary? Who went in the Sanctuary at Scarefest at Alton Towers? One of my most favourite mazes I've ever been on. Flat out, ever been on. Ever been on. 2016 I went to Portland Park. I'll tell you, Portland Park is one of those places you've got to start visiting yearly now. It's really sort of changing, to be honest with you. It's so good. Right, these ones are kept in a folder. So first, this is the last ever ride. Kurt doesn't remember this. I know I've showed this on the channel before, but this is the last ever ride on Professor Burke's Bubbleworks. This was the last ever ride. The 31st of October 2005, this was about 7 p.m. as well, that we went on that. Look at Kurt, look. Kurt, look at you. Look, Kurt, you're so sweet. He doesn't remember it, it's a real shame. Molly, I love the audio they've got on Toon Blast. I think it's absolutely incredible. Portland's best park in the UK? Yeah, it will be. It will be very, very soon. There's no doubt about that. Wow, Logger's Leap. Whoa. What we got there? Some classics here, people. So this is a, no, you can't remember about that far, Kurt. You can't remember what you had for breakfast yesterday, let alone anything like that. This is an old Chesington Zoo map. So out of interest, who visited the park when it was just a zoo? Because I actually don't believe I did. I got this one off a friend. I've also got one off of eBay since. But this is when it was just a zoo, and you look at the species they used to have in there. You know, crocodiles there. Flamingos are back now, fortunately. They used to have elephants as well. For those that didn't know, they used to have hippos. They used to have polar bears. I did actually see the polar bears at Chesington. They used to have a bit of everything. Absolutely everything. And then, of course, the Bernstadt Mansion was something that you could hire out. Can't do that anymore, sadly. And this is one I've acquired. So this is from 1974. 1974, this Chesington Zoo guide. And that's the map. You may have seen it on the website already, for those that have been on the website. Is there still a runaway train at Alton Towers? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I did Windsor Safari Park. Yes, I did Windsor Safari Park. But oddly enough, I was about, well, I don't know. I wasn't very old. I don't remember it that well. And it's really funny because what brought memories back for me of Windsor Safari Park was driving up to Legoland where it is now. Because obviously the drive was your drive-through. It had a drive-through, then you get to the other end where you had the animals. And I remember the drive-through, but I remember nothing at all of the actual thing. I'm devastated I didn't remember it. Now, Chesington used to do guidebooks. I say used to, I think actually they've started doing them again. And yes, I have a long selection you can see going on the desk here. A lot of selection. 1974. So these are original ones that I've picked up from the park, from various visits, and then one I picked up on eBay. That's a Fort Park one. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Now then, this is, now these look the same, these two, but I don't believe they are. I think they've got different things inside, to be honest. So this was 1989. 1989. So this is the 1989 Chesington World of Adventures book. And you may have seen this. It's actually quite popular. There's quite a few kicking around online. And, you know, it advertises the vampire. Which, you know, back then, it may not have seemed much, but the vampire back then was, you know, revolutionary. Absolutely revolutionary. And you can really see where Chesington kind of got the theme from. This was all about the theme. I haven't been to Cadbury's World yet, but it is on my list of things to do. And of course, who remembers Zap-O-Matic? Did any of you guys ride the Fifth Dimension? Did any of you guys ride the Fifth Dimension? What a strange ride that was. What a strange ride. I do remember it really clearly. Of course, the old Black Buccaneer, which we know won't be there this year. That boat has been going since 1988. The old Dragon, I mean, that, look at the view of that. I mean, you just, you know, even recently. What did you think of the Fifth Dimension? I assume that's what you mean, Tony. What did you think of it? Do you remember it well? I thought it was very odd ride. Magic Carpet, how the park could do one of them now. No, I don't remember. It's funny enough, I've only visited West Midlands Safari Park, Anthony, a few times, and it was long before they had big ones like that. It was, yeah, I can't. Where did that boomerang go? Is that the one that went to American Adventure? Can't remember which one that went there. Webmaster 11, I rode the Fifth Dimension, very unique. It was very, very unique. Very, very peculiar ride. Now, funny enough, the other books are very, very similar. I mean, this is before Vampire come along. Charlene, Fifth Dimension was amazing. It was certainly different. Right, UK, can't beat a bit of classic. No, you can't beat a bit of classic Arrows. Andrew, hi, thank you for joining us today. We're going through books. And back then as well, in 1989, Chessington also produced just these. And then that was one of the very first maps produced back when maps weren't really a thing, to be honest with you. Wait, it looks like Vampire Track was red and white. No, Little G, they pictured the Cedar Point ride, because the one in Cedar Point was the only one, I believe, operating at the time. So they kind of pictured that to say this is what it's going to look like. Music was catchy. Music was catchy at the Fifth Dimension. I don't think the boys particularly like it when I put the music on now. Miss Terror Tomb with the skeleton guitar was amazing. Funnily enough, I watched that yesterday. I came across an old video yesterday on YouTube and I watched that. And it's staggering, because I think one of the key things I took away from that is there were more moving models back in 1994 in the whole of Terror Tomb than what there is now in the whole of Chessington. Really, really odd. Really odd. Clay, you have that one with the panda? Yeah, love that. Love it. Went on school trip. I was huge about it. It was. And then, of course, you know, this is a people have seen this. I'd be very surprised if you haven't seen this one. And I bought this when I went to the park in 1990. And I kept hold of it. And, you know, back then I was sort of only, you know, semi sort of, you know, theme parky. You know, I wasn't really like geeky on it. But yeah, I just kept it, and I'm really pleased I did. I'm really pleased I did. And then there were no real guidebooks for a bit until the Families Come First come along, and then I can't remember which one's which. I think this one. So this was 2003. So this is the 2003 one. Vampire, great ride. I remember the old Vampire cars when it first opened. Yes, so do I. And it's funny again, because watching the old video yesterday, you realise just how much stress they must have put on the track, because they just went from that to that with like the slightest of corners. You know, that ride would have been screwed and long gone had they kept that. Now if there's a roller coaster concert they get copyrighted, probably would. Andrew, someone told me, I'm not sure it's correct, but they're thinking about bringing mascots. I've heard that. I have heard that Fort Park are looking to bring the mascots back. I have heard that rumour, and it'll be really interesting to see if they do it. And it wasn't that long ago, to be fair, because we're the what's it called, the Jungle Escape or whatever it is now. You know, this little stage was there up to about 6 years ago, just as Studio 13 went in. And yeah, that was they still had mascots then, but I'd love to see them come back. I really would. Drop Tower coming to Chessington next year. So the more recent ones, obviously you can see Rodeo in the picture from Mexicana. Miss Rodeo, really miss Rodeo, and it's all very cartoony. It kind of went from really serious to sort of all cartoony, which was a bit of a shame. However, I say that, I mean, look at that. Beano Land, people. Beano Land. What's not to love about Beano Land? And they even picture as well the Vampire and the old Vampire, just so you know. Just so you know which one's which. I think we know. And I will just say now, although the swing was absolutely insane on the old Vampire, I do prefer the new Vampire. So 2003, this was updated for 2004, which was when the last roller coaster came to Chessington, 16 years ago. 16 years ago. Where is it? And then, yeah, Land of the Dragons. And you just had a little picture frame because they obviously produced the book before Dragon's Fury opened, which was a bit of a shame. 2005 was the next one. Did they have, I can't remember. Did they update it? They still didn't update. Oh, you did. Look, that one's actually got a picture. That one's actually got a picture of Dragon's Fury. And you think now it's like some of the key advertising, one of the biggest rides in the park. And 2005 saw Peking Heights open. Ugh. Less so about that, better. Also, do the cars swing on Vampire? They do still swing on Vampire, yes. They do indeed. Oh my God, I'm losing track here. Billy's Swinger, Billy's Whizzer. Billy's Whizzer was an incredible ride. You know, that really sort of pushed in the old fountains in the face, shall we say. You know, love a bit of fountains in the face. Goose and Hole, do we think Goose and Hole will go ahead? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? 2006 was a nice little activity book. I'll say that. Because it had stickers. Has anyone got this book? Has anyone got it? Yeah, little Menaces. Who remembers him? He used to suck all the litter. And of course, this was the year that, one of the years that Chessington died. Yeah, one of the years that Chessington died. And that's because, I will find it. Imperial Leather Bubble Works. Enough said about that, the better. TPI, you have most of these. Good, there's loads, absolutely loads. Now, just while I've got the original, I've got the Fort Park one here. My Fort Park stuff only starts in sort of 2000. I did go back. A bit to visit the park, but I didn't actually keep any of the items, which is really weird. And it's funny because Fort Park, I think, wasn't really the place to be. Woody and Chessington, by the way, Anthony, would be amazing. Would be absolutely amazing. It just wouldn't. Yeah, Fort Park's changed massively. You know, I watched an old video from 1997, and it's just completely changed. And when you look at the Fort Park map from 1979, I mean, it's just really weird. You know, you'd go to look at planes. You weren't going to go on rides. You go on, I think, the cinema. Yeah, very odd. It just suddenly changed so quickly. They've got the fire to thank for that one. But what's changed? It was like my memory. My memory is being ripped. My childhood memories. Yeah, I agree. I agree massively. It really, really was like that, and I really miss it as well. Loved it. Absolutely loved the original Bubble Works. Right. Now, so I know the difference between some of these. Now, little folders. I've got a 2004 Guidebook of Alton Towers in storage in my garage. I'll tell you what, that might be here somewhere, because I had that as well. New coaster coming. Yeah, I'd love to see a new coaster. The Fun Guide to Alton Towers, it's called. Actually, it used to be fun. I didn't say that. It's still fun. I don't want anyone to think I'm bashing. Right, so this is my Fort Park map. Start. It started in 2001, and this was the year before Colossus opened. So yeah, that was when I first went. It wasn't the first time I went to the park. It was the first time I went to the park by myself. Can you remember the Nemesis chocolate bars and cans of pop? I remember the pop, but I don't remember the chocolate bars. I won't lie to you there. And then we had about the new 10 looping coaster, which people couldn't believe they were doing. Now you will notice the state of this map. It's clearly been on tidal wave. It's a little bit delicate, can't lie to you. It's a tad on the delicate side. That one's been on tidal wave, but I do have one that hasn't been on tidal wave. So that's 2001. Have any of you guys got the 2001 map? Have you got the 2001 map? Let me know. God, we've got loads here. We got loads. Right. So we have the 2002 map, which is obviously Colossus. Colossus. Now, I expect a few people to have these because of, obviously, this is when Thorpe Park got popular and they opened this massive roller coaster. And this is also the first time that Fright Nights, as you know it, opened at Thorpe Park. 2002, the year of Colossus. And then that moved on to 2003. And the year of Nemesis Inferno. And you will notice actually how small, I mean, Thorpe Park have had some really strange maps over the time. Whilst they're all fairly uniform now in this size, you know, they're this size, they're really small, really dinky, and they kind of, they're a bit more pocket size actually, to be fair, they're probably a little bit better. And this is a late version because this advertises Samurai at Thorpe Park, obviously coming to the park for 2004. Another bad move. Now, 2004 actually had two variations of the map, which not everyone is aware of. You had a version, you can see where this has been folded in my pocket, possibly. I think Chessington changed the Gruffalo Arena to main stage in the new map. Funny enough, it does still say Gruffalo Arena last time they were open. But yes, I have heard they're changing it to just Arena, which would make more sense. I don't really understand what it's at anyway. Will they ever bring back the waterfalls on the rapids? No. I don't think they will, sadly. I really don't. I mean, look at this, look. Is that easy to read? I'm not convinced it is. But yeah, there were two versions of the Thorpe Park map. One of them was advertising the massive new Fright Nights, and one of them was advertising the fireworks. Funny enough, I think the fireworks did go ahead still in 2004. I'll have to double check that. I think they'll probably go ahead still in 2004. 2005, got a few of those. Don't know how, I've got a few of those. Had Nemesis Inferno still rocking the front. Obviously, we were expecting something big. So, answers on a postcard. Which two rides opened at Thorpe Park in 2005? One of which is still there. One of them's hanging on in there a little bit. The stealth. So we had Rush and Slammer. Who rode Slammer? Did you enjoy Slammer? Because Slammer was one of those that divided opinion. I remember the first time I went on it, I filmed a POV before even realising what the ride was. That was back in the days when they didn't really care if you filmed a POV. Didn't really have a choice, to be honest with you. I kind of done it anyway. That's on the channel, coincidentally. But Slammer was one of those rides. It was very intense. I'd love to see that on there. Imagine that circle in the UK. Can you imagine that? Do you still love the Blackpool Waxworks or London? I prefer the Blackpool one, to be honest with you. I think it's much quieter. So 2006, we had this map. I mean, this was to advertise the park's icon ride. Stealth. And you know, it's tucked away in the corner there. This is a 208-foot roller coaster tucked away in the corner there. Just out of interest, do you still think Stealth is the icon ride at Thorpe Park, or do you think it's something else? 2007 is arguably the worst map design I've ever seen from a park. It's just a sheet of A4 paper. Have you got this map? That's a horrible map. But 2007, the main difference is it doesn't have Thorpe Farm on it. Back in 2007, I ran a fun house at Southport Pleasureland. That's when they had their little wooden coaster, wasn't it? Inferno best there. Kurt, you've got an Inferno fan here, Kurt. I don't dislike Inferno. I don't dislike it, honestly. It looks cheap. It's just an A4 bit of paper, Andrew. That's all it is. Quite stunningly. And then we kind of, 2008 went back to a slightly bigger map. slightly bigger one. And then of course we go to the territory of the slightly newer ones. So 2009, which was Saw the Ride. Another one that divides opinion. Saw the Ride. So hit me with your Stealth. I believe it's the Archon Rifle Park. I believe it is. This is the So Saw the Ride, people. Hit me with your thoughts on Saw the Ride. Anthony, I never rode a Cyclone at Southport either. Sadly not. Sadly not. I wanted to ride that as well. I really did. But what do we think of Saw the Ride? What do we think of Saw? Is it as good as people say, or is it as bad as I think it is? I don't know. Right. Oh dear. So I have to think about this one before I open this. Did I experience Phantom Fantasia? Not Phantom Fantasia, but I did do Wicked Witch's Haunt, which I think was slightly rethemed, wasn't it? So the worst map design ever goes to the 2010. Sorry, I think the 11 one's the same, Fort Park one. Where you can see, when they were advertising for their chavvy audience, that they think it's a good idea to put in the corner people in a bush. A bit staggered by this map. It was one of the worst I've ever seen. That was the year that Saw Alive opened as well, and that's when it was, I'll say popular. I'm not sure it was ever popular, to be honest with you. Not sure it was ever popular. And our newer ones are slightly somewhere else. Gut wrenching. I take it that means Saw. It's certainly something. Saw very painful, head basher. Yeah, agree with you there, 100%. I would call that a head basher as well. So this is what I call my special file, this one. You must know that Chessington is my favourite theme park. 100% my favourite theme park. Oh look, someone's left a dislike. Thanks guys, thanks for stopping by. The Chessington one, well, this is the more recent stuff. I've got another one somewhere. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Well, it's nice they stopped by, David, isn't it? Nice they stopped by. I might do a quiz next. Should we do a quiz next? Who's up for a theme park quiz? No one liked this morning's one. Claire, Chessington is your local theme park. It's not my local theme park, but I like to think it is. David, come along for the quiz. We'll have to do a theme park one. I definitely don't have enough knowledge to do a fair one, to be honest. Molly would like a theme park quiz. David would come along. I don't even think this is the one I'm looking for either. Oh my god. I've got a lot of Chessington stuff kicking around with people. Hold on. Did I experience No Way Out? Yes, I did. I experienced it, I think, for the first time, I want to say in '98. And then it was quite stable at the park when I went as well. I have freeze files so you can see all this Chessington stuff. You can see all this Chessington stuff. Oh! There it is! Look at that. That is the 1994 Alton Towers map. And that's not bought. I picked that up from the park when I went and rode Nemesis for the very first time. That was an experience. I remember I was, I'm trying to work out how old I was, but it should be quite easy. So I was 12 when I went there then, and I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. I'd been on the Corkscrew in '92, I'd obviously been on Vampire in '90, but I'd never seen anything like this in my life. And there was no internet or anything like that. So when you walked over to Nemesis, is there anyone in the stream that walked over to Nemesis in '94 and thought, holy shit, what is this? because, you know, I walked over to it and I said to my sister, I ain't going on that. And she went, I haven't come all this way not to go on it. And I said I'll wait outside, but I had a 3-hour queue. So I got dragged on it. And I'm so pleased I did. I was so pleased I did. It was April 1st. Funnily enough, 2 days' time when I went on it, I've still got the ticket as well coming around somewhere. And I was so pleased. I was so pleased. It was about 12 days after it opened. And yeah, this is the Alton Towers map from 1994. And it had Toyland tours. Oh, I miss Toyland tours. Give me Toyland tours any day over most of the dark rides we've got. Over most of the dark rides we've got. Right, pop that one down there. Did you ever do Jungle Coaster? Yes, I did it with a lovely little helmet, roof that it had, and then without a roof as well. Hi Phil, thanks for coming along today. Thanks for coming along. Right, now then, this Chessington memorabilia. Okay, that's Kung Fu Panda. They actually came from Chessington, those Kung Fu Pandas. They came from the event. Right. So hit me as we go here on these Chessington memorabilia maps, because I know that a lot of people didn't visit the park back in the 90s, and I know that most of the maps you see online have come from me. All the ones that Chessington World of Adventures actually used on their history page came from me. Hi Leah, thanks for joining. It came from me, and I edited these. I scanned these in, and I painfully removed all of the creases from the maps, because obviously this was long before, again, internet and scanning things on. So I painfully removed all of the creases from the maps. Chessington's history page at the bottom of their website. The first 15 years are taken directly from my website, spelling mistakes included. Let me tell you, there's a few of them. But here are some of the Chessington ones. So, 1990, little brochure. Little brochure, look, new, Professor Burke's Bubbleworks. Yeah, look at that. Hi Leah, thanks for coming, thanks for coming. And this is when they used to rate their rides. So does anyone own these? Does anyone have any of these old Chessington ones? Honestly, I'm still looking for the 91 and 92 map. Still looking for that. This is when they ranked Vampires #1, straight in at #2, Professor Burke's Bubbleworks. And I actually think this is... I actually don't think this is from 1990, because Chessington only advertised the Vampire in 1990. And then they advertised Professor Burke as being new the following year, even though it wasn't. Even though it was new at the time. I've got various variations of this as well, various variations. So, Fun in 92 that advertised the Juggler. Someone earlier said Rodeo is incredible. It is still incredible, just sadly not in this country. Look at that, look. That was when, that's when we had some classics. We had some classic Chessington memorabilia kicking around. Britain's Top Theme Park, that was when they used to give these away on the trains, when you were heading to the trains. Britain's Most Exciting Theme Park. To be fair, it was one of Britain's only theme parks when it opened. I think people forget that, you know, Alton Towers was more of a fairground than it was a theme park. You know, it was, you went to Chessington, it was like something else. I'd go to Alton Towers, they'd bring back a Sonic Spinball themed new movie. Yeah, I tell you what, they probably dropped the ball on that a bit early, to be honest, because Spinball Wizard's a bit boring as it is. I'd love to see that come. I'd love to see that come. Right, park maps. I think someone said earlier they had the 1993 map. Who said they had the 1993 map? So that is the 1993 map. This is an original 1993 map with the fifth dimension on. So I haven't seen the 91 and 92 map. I can't find it anywhere. So again, you've got that. Hit me with it. There we go, Webmaster 11, you've got that. Have you got the 94 map? Someone said earlier they wanted to see Terror Tomb for when it opened. Well, this is the new for 1994. Can't remember Beano Land. Anti-Beano Land was, oh, I love Beano Land. Absolutely loved it. So that is the 1994 map, which was Terror 2. And of course, most people think that Ramesses and Terra Tomb opened at the same time, but they didn't. They didn't open at the same time. Which was your favourite area at Chessington? Beanoland. I loved Beanoland. I kind of understand the route the park took in getting rid of it, but I love Beanoland. Dr. Chessington comes up very shortly. Very shortly. I think he's next year. I think he's 95. So there's the Terra Tomb. This was the advertisement for the Terra Tomb. In the 94 map. And the map definitely made the theme park look bigger than what it was, I believe. I think it definitely made it look bigger than what it was. And then, of course, 1995, is this Dr. Chessington new? We'll open it up and have a look in a sec. Was Ramesses Revenge, of course, recently removed. Recently removed, sadly, Ramesses. It's a bitter shame. It's a bitter shame we lost that. Loved it. Yes, here he is. Here he is, look, 95. Dr. Chessington makes a guest appearance. What a strange character he was. Who remembers the adverts for Dr. Chessington? Who remembers the adverts? That was something special, that was. And you know, it's a bit more... 95 as well was the year the Sea Storm opened. So we got Sea Storm in 95. And the maps were, yeah, they were alright. 96, sorry, I missed a year then. 96, still Ramesses Revenge on the front. Funny enough, there wasn't a lot of advertising for Terra Tomb after that. Anthony, I'd like to see him get a new roller coaster now. Now I'd like to see it. Let alone when. I just want to see one now. The maps might be worth a bit. Well, they might be. They might be indeed. And of course, this was all about Dr. Chessington. So he didn't make an appearance in 95, but 96, he was everywhere. I think that's when the main adverts come out. I won a Daily Mirror comp family ticket, and the question was who runs Chessington from Bernstone Mansion? Yeah, Dr. Chessington. Loved him. Wild Asia is well themed though, however, never got to see Beanoland. Wild Asia was incredible when it opened. It's just, it really has gone to pot a little bit. Even though, I've said, so, for those that are waiting, hopefully there's some people waiting, there's a Legoland vlog out tomorrow, and the Chessington vlog is out on Wednesday. That'll be out on Wednesday, so you'll be able to have a look at some of the things I point out in Wild Asia. 97, Dr. Chessington still a thing in 97? In fact, we talk about worst map designs. I mean, Dr. Chessington was gone. But look how awful that is. I mean, you imagine trying to find your way around on this. Can you imagine it? Hard work. Hard work. What year are we there? 96, 97. I've lost 98. 98. There he is. So again, we talk about map design changes. We went from 96 to 97 and then 98. So of course 98. Do you remember Heroes Wanted at Legoland? Yeah, TPC, I remember the advert. I don't actually remember what it was about though. Was it just an advert? I think it was just an advert, wasn't it? For all their driving school things, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. Let me know. 98, so 98 saw Creepy Caves, it saw Rattlesnake. It's not Rattlesnake. So with Ramesses, Rattlesnake, Vampire, and Action Man being new, we stuck the clown coaster on the front of the map. I mean, where's that clown? That clown coaster is around now as well. The collection's worth a lot, yeah. I've had them a long time. You'd love to see my porn collection. It's all online now, Dave. No one has a collection, come on. More marketing and branding. You have a main piece of dramatic entrance music as well. Yeah. I vaguely remember. I'm going to have to look at that. So Heroes Wanted, something wanted. Yeah, it's bringing back some memories. It really is bringing back some memories. I'm going to have to look at that now. You've just put a thought in my head now. So, 1999. If you can see on the table, what came in 1999? Anthony, yes, I did get on Thunderloop at Alton Towers, and it scared the crap out of me because it only had a lap bar. I sat on this and I was like, Why has this only got a lap bar? This thing's just about to flip me upside down. I'm not feeling the lap bar. I'm not feeling the lap bar love. But yeah, scared the crap out of me. Ramsey's in World Asia. If they move it there. Do you know what happened to the huge Toy Town roundabout? I don't think it was scrapped, but no, I don't know where it went. I love that roundabout. And I actually think it's better. I actually think it was better for years to come. Maybe it doesn't sit in with the theme now for Chesington, but I certainly think it was better than the carousel they sort of replaced it with, to be honest. So we have some little brochures that were released. So who rode Samurai at Chesington World of Adventures? Because, you know, Fort Park Samurai is nothing short of shocking. I know David was kind of backing me up in saying that on the road, you get some really good top scans. Really, really good top scans on the road. But at theme parks, now, you don't. Oh, you got a samurai hat? I want a samurai hat. I haven't got one of them. But yeah, samurai. This was, I believe, this was the first in the country. I believe that there wasn't a travelling one. I'm sure this was the first one the UK saw. And of course, it is a travelling ride. It was on a truck for the whole duration. What's on page 3 of these maps? 1, 2, these ones. Start. Vampire and Bubble Works. Mexicana Mystic East. Then we have Samurai in the middle. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Samurai was the first top scan we had in the UK. There's another nice picture of Terror Tomb there, actually. I think it was a year before it went to Forbidden Tomb. I'm not mistaken. It went to Forbidden Tomb in 2000. I'll have a look at that shortly. Too many. Chesington should have rethemed the Clown Coaster. That old Pin Ferry ride. You know, absolute nightmare. That is absolute nightmare. Did you speak to your Quizmaster Dave? There were a lot of cocks in there last night. Would have been a good coaster. Well, I think the Clown Coaster is going to be the same problem as what the Duplo Coaster's got now, where it can only fit about 4 people on it. The actual Chesington map was really small and diddy, and then it opened up into a massive world of adventure with some pink jumbos on it. I love the Wright Bubble Works. Yeah, Professor Burt's Bubble Works. I hope you like that. 99 then went on to 2000, which was the Beano Land. Who didn't like Beano Land? Answers down below if you didn't like Beano Land. I mean, how fun was Beano Land? And this is when it went to Forbidden Tomb. So we went through the Terror Tomb area, and I don't know if there was just a music change, but I don't think a lot happened on Forbidden Tomb. Again, someone correct me. Darren, if I had American Adventure maps, honestly I would, but I never got to go to American Adventure. Never got to go. Very sad, very, very sad. Now I do have the 2001 map, but it's not in this little selection, I don't think. The 2001 map took me years to find. What was unique about the 2001 map? Yeah, sorry Darren, sorry. I really wish I'd been to American Adventure, but my mum just wouldn't take me, and I just wasn't old enough to drive there. It was a real kick in the nuts, that was. Real kick in the nuts. Right, the 2001 Bubbleworks Retro Pin Badge, Molly. Yes, that's a classic, that is. That's somewhere in this pile as well. I'm not sure how much of it we're going to get through tonight, but that's somewhere in this pile as well. So that was the 2002 map, and that was the opening of Hocus Pocus Hall, and actually that says 2003, that's a good start, isn't it? That's the opening of Hocus Pocus Hall. There we go, it's the 2002 map, and that is when we got Tomb Blaster for the very first time. I do have the 2001 map. Can you remember, guys, what happened in 2001? Answers on a postcard, what happened? Look at that, an original Chesington postcard. It'd be nice to see another original Chessington postcard. Holiday Inn. Buster Miss here. I once had the 2K and 2K1 maps of Alton Towers. I think mine started in 2002. No, it wasn't the Creaky Caves fire. That was a little bit later. It was when the vampire was shut. 2001 was when the vampire was shut. And yeah, didn't open. But it was still on the map. It was still on the map. After speaking to the guys at Porton, Little G, they won't be selling that to Merlin for anyone. I can assure you that won't be going anywhere anytime soon. 2004 then saw Families Come First at Chessington. One of the weakest advertising campaigns I've seen. And of course, that's when we lost Ramesses Revenge. And then we went to Share the Adventure. And then finally, we sort of moved away from it, I think in 2008. When they realised it, oh God. So, you know, I mean, these are all the old African adventures. I know a lot of people haven't seen some of these maps. If you didn't go to these events, the Winter's Tale events and things, you might not have seen these. Wild Factor, who remembers the Wild Factor in 2007? Did you reckon Pirate Ship went higher than Blade? 100%. It was the tallest one in Europe at its time. Tallest one in Europe, believe it or not, the Black Pioneer. Much higher than anything we had in the UK, even on its close of counting. Question: will next live be a merch collection? I have no idea, Darren. Would you like it to be a merch collection? That's the question. Because I don't have that much. I've got a little bit. I've got my big one wheel sitting out there. Here we go. This is an unused. So this is a proper rare. This is an unused Last Ride band, which we didn't put on Kurt for Professor Burt Bubbleworks. Because he was so small, bless him, we didn't have to stick it on him. So yeah, this is my one, which got ripped and come off. And then this is Kurt's one, for the last ever ride on Professor Burt's. Missed that. Again, you know, there weren't that many people that came along there. This was the first advertising campaign for the 2-1 Annual Pass. Ramesses Revenge in its peak. Who doesn't like Ramesses Revenge in its peak? Absolutely. Loads of rubbish, people. Am I mad for collecting this? Honestly, am I mad for collecting this stuff? Be honest. Am I mad for having all this stuff? Should I calm down a bit? Should I have let some of it go by now? I just can't do it. And then we have our more recent maps. So again, we do keep all the recent maps as well. Loads of those, absolutely loads of those. Looking at the bag, the recent maps. Have you seen the new Dragon's Fury resin? I think I have. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. We're all geeks at heart. I hope so. I worry about myself sometimes. I know the boys worry about me as well, but I think it's a different kind of worry, to be honest with you. It's like a modern day stamp collector. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So look, these little ones, look. So these are my earliest ones of Alton Towers. So that is 2000, I want to say that's 2003, that one. That was a really strange map, 2004. Very, very odd and peculiar. 2002 was the opening of Air. Didn't like Air. Much prefer Air over Galactica. Much prefer it. Much prefer it. I'll get to the bottom of this box. There might be something interesting in here. Spider, 2012. Well, look at that. I am rooting around, people, honestly. I'm having a look. I think the boys got me some of these badges. So, very, very strange. Very, very strange, some of these. So this was the advertising for the Smiler. And yeah, it's a newspaper clip out. I've got a few newspaper clip outs, but this told you everything about the Smiler before it opened. Absolutely everything. You know, the mass advertising campaign that came. Who at Imperial ever thought it was very thin was a good idea? Yeah, I mean, they clearly never been on it. When did you go to your first press event? Ooh. It's at Fort Park, I can tell you that now. What new rides? Swarm? I want to say Swarm. Don't quote me on it. But I want to say Swarm. Who got one of these cards? Who played the Smiler game? Who played it? I think it's still available. And then look at these. These are original. So we've got a Top Trumps video on the channel because I've got the Top Trumps. They're on my shelf out there. These are the original Trumps from Alton Towers, and you only got these when you stayed in the hotel. These are sealed. I actually can't tell you what cards are in here at all. So again, if you've got these, let me know. Let me know what's in them, because I haven't got a clue. Not a clue what's in them. Look at these sweet. Isn't he sweet? I have a feeling some of the boys got me some of these, I believe. Smiler Games removed after the accident. Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. The game was on the App Store, yes. I'm not sure if it's still there. It's like the best and worst roller coasters out there. I don't have a lot of love for the Smiler, to be honest with you. It's not a terrible coaster, it's just not what it's hyped up to be. I survived a runaway mine train at Chessington. Honestly, I did. I think Kurt got me these. Kurt, talk to me. Look at that. Just checks it's not on there. Oh, maybe it's gone. That was a great game, actually. I loved it. And the QR codes for the Smiler game are still in, or a lot of them are still in the Smiler queue line as well, and you still have to go and sort of like scan them. Now, Fort Park keyring, look, still got the tag on it. There's another Fort Park. An old Chessington Zoo. Bit of lag there, sorry guys. It's streaming off my phone and I'm trying to watch it on the TV at the same time to keep up with those. How about a Jungle Thing wooden coaster? Yeah, you know, there's no reason why they can't extend the Jungle Thing. They could knock down quite a few things. In fact, they could go out the back end and go onto the field. Yes, I got one of those for you. I think you did, Kurt. I'd like to see any kind of coaster. I'm really at a point now where I just want to see Chessington get some good investment. This year was a real good start. It was a real good start for them, but it's just not good enough. They need more people. They need more. Right, well, I had loads of crap in there, didn't I? Loads of crap in there. In the interest of keeping this a little bit shorter than before, I will endeavour to speed up a bit. Yeah, I'd like that back. I have no idea what's in these. I'll save the memorabilia for another time, and we'll stay with the books. So let's just have an RMC at Chessington, people. Come on, let's have a low level. Let's have the world's first launched RMC. Let's think big. Let's think big for Chessington in the future. Right, I was donated this not that long ago either. If they could bring back an old ride to Chessington and reimagine, what would it be? Well, do they need to reimagine it? That's the question. Quite honestly, I'd always like to see Professor Bert's Bubble Works come back with proper moving models, and I still think it would be as popular as ever. I really do. So Blackpool Pleasure Beach book. I remember when I put this on Facebook, a few people said they had it. I think it's from the mid-90s. But has anyone got this book? Has anyone got this? Let's get the ultimate over to Chessington. Yeah, I don't think that thing's moving very fast, to be honest with you. So, you know, this book, I think we've posted things before. This has got construction from, you know, early 1900s of some of their top rides. And that's my certificate for my wheel. So I actually have a big one wheel sitting on my shelf out the back, a big one wheel. Has anyone got anything bigger than maps? Anyone got anything bigger than maps at all? Let us know in the comments. Oh my life. Oh look. Also, did anyone go to the National Roller Coaster Day at Alton Towers? Now, I've met John Wardley before a couple of times, mainly when Air. Oh, excuse me. I went on Air the day it opened, and John Wardley was standing in the queue talking to everyone about it. And as I said, I just remember he said, sit anywhere, it doesn't matter. And he signed my book. He signed the book. And I managed to keep it dry, because those that watch the vlog will remember it pissed down. It pissed down with rain. And this is the only book I've ever read. Only book I ever read. Andrew, I really hope the virus will go and Chesington Open soon. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get my friend married. Oh, bless, yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that at Chesington, I really would. I really would. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I'm sure your children love it, because I know mine still do, and they're older now. I have a Scarab Bouncer gun, done the Ultimate last time for the first time. Did you enjoy it, Anthony, just out of interest? I have a Scarab and a gun from Toon Blast, and a signed book by John Wardley as well. I've got one of the original Pepsi Mac Big One flags. It's Fluent and Casual. Oh, very nice. Only got this book for a decade. Walt Disney World. I haven't seen that one actually. Epcot's Construction. That'd be quite interesting to see. Apart from that, I've really got maps. I haven't got a lot of big stuff. I've got some random stuff. I have got some random stuff kicking around out the back. Jesus Christ, I've got some rubbish in here, people. It gets a time when you just feel that you need to... no. Kurt, I found your Pokemon cards. They're in the clear box, Kurt. They're in the clear box. Hi, James. Must be brilliant living near a theme park. Well, I'd love to live closer to one. I really would. Right, I've got some rubbish. This box seems unobtainable. But I did pick up myself a Nemesis 25 badge. Anyone else get their Nemesis 25 badge? Pleasure Beach monorail cars going for £1,000. Don't know where I put it. I nearly bought the old Vampire car back in the day. Nearly bought it. Was so close, my mum would not let me have it. I think it would have made a lovely ornament, but she was having none of it. Absolutely none of it. I say I don't forgive her to this day, but obviously I do. She's my mum. Nemesis 25 badge, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh. So I actually won. I won an Icon boarding pass. Chesington should rename Toon Blast to Forbidden Tomb. Yeah, that lovely rock work is right behind it, and you can still blooming see it. It really annoys me when they do special interviews with privileged channels, and it's still there. It's still there. It really is annoying. I got a video from the big one in the 90s called Vertical Red. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. With two things like this year, and stuff go coaster have dropped out. Yeah. Don't know when the coaster's coming. Really don't. Did anyone buy a boarding pass for Icon? I never used this because they said they would stamp it and you'd get a certificate, but I kind of wanted to keep it as it was. I just think it's, I think it's really nice. There's an original postcard I picked up. Love that. Love that, love that, love that. Last Portland's Park press event for Peppa Pig World. Got a little card for that as well. What have we got in here that's exciting? Oh, ooh. Right. That was a joint. That was a joint map, that was. Box of Artifact. I've been forgetting to eat these, honestly. There's a joint one. So this had a couple of pages of Chesington and a couple of pages of Fort Park. But Nemesis is the third on one hand. You know, Hocus Pocus Hall. It's a little bit disappointing. Great Fort Park. That's when the flying fish was amazing. Peppa Pig World. I love Peppa Pig World. I actually prefer Thomas Land, but I prefer Thomas Land because I grew up with Thomas. Do you have any old annual passes? You know what? It's only the last 2 years I've actually kept my annual passes. I'm pretty sure the other times, I'm pretty sure they've taken them back off me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty sure they keep them. I was caught on camera in the documentary helping the big one of that. I tell you, I've seen that documentary. I watched that not too long ago. Honestly, the old Fort Park branding was really good. Look at that. Has anyone got this book? I've heard a few people have got this book. And again, you know, there's no rides in it. This is all what Fort Park was about. Back in the day, it was an expedition. Exhibition. Swarmy. Miss Swarmy, I really do. I'm gonna have to, got a lot of crap to go through here, guys. There's some old Legoland maps. Don't know where they come from. Valhalla, I worry what they're gonna do with Valhalla. I really do. One of those. Molly, was that the one? Was that the one you got? A bit closer. Carry back from Fort Park in 1994, classic merch. Oh yeah, I do have a couple of carrier bags. I don't think I've got a Fort Park one. I don't think I've got a Fort Park one, sadly. I don't know what I've got in this box. This is the most random box in the world. Oh, there's my Harry Potter stuff. Sheikah, Ride of the Mummy. Oh, there's another Chessington one. Big enormous great Fort Park. Kurt, this is yours. I've commandeered it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kurt. There we go. Look, there's a Winter Wonderland one. For all the fair people, that's an old Winter Wonderland one for you. So, I think that was the year the Munich Looper debuted, or that a couple of years ago. I think that was a few years back now. Got plenty of old tickets from Blackpool, which I kept. Of course, you don't get them anymore. Now this, I can't remember how to use. These were given on a press thing, and these are actually USBs. They're like 32 meg USBs. I think I got a Zipperstar lighter. Yeah, I'll tell you what, lighters, and even, dare I say, the condoms as well, they were quite rare, which they used to sell at the tills. They were quite rare as well. And of course, some old Hobbs Pit merchandise. Anyone remember where Hobbs Pit was? Where was Hobbs Pit? Did you ride it? More importantly, did you ride it? Because I tell you, that was a very special experience, that was, Hobbs Pit. Very special experience. Pause. Do I remember Robinson's Land? Yes. Yes. Funny enough, I didn't actually go to Robinson's Land. However, I do remember it, and I remember also because we got the roller coaster down here at Funland, which only left last year, which was the Pin Fairy one down there, and that came from Robinson's Land. I think there's another Peppa Pig World somewhere. Well, across Europe, Merlin own the rights for Peppa Pig. I think they have to call it Peppa Pig Land. Looping Coaster. Oh, Looping Coaster. Oh, I've got some Disney stuff in here. Did everyone get their Alton Towers car sticker? Smiler car sticker? So this was given out at the beginning of the season, when Smiler hadn't actually opened, because it was running a bit late. Yes, Peppa Pig Land, they haven't got half the attractions, I don't think. I think there's sort of a limit on what they can do. Pen set? Look at that. Never opened, it's got an air one in it. I think I bought that because it was air. Little G, you off, thank you for joining, thank you very much. Lightwater Valley, 2011, the opening of Skeleton Cove. We went for the opening of Skeleton Cove. Oh my god. We've got some Portaventura bits. Honestly, maps, just maps and maps and maps and maps and maps of stuff. Oddly enough, I can't find the Chessington one I'm looking for, which is always a bit of concern. Always a bit of a worry that I can't find that. And this is how, I mean, you talk about awkward sized maps. This was the Pleasurewood Hills map we were given. I don't know how I kept this straight in 2013. That's the map, that's what they handed out at the entrance. What's supposed to do with that? The old vampire trains, yeah, they did. In fact, some of the vampire trains I'm sure went abroad, didn't they? One of them went abroad as spares for someone else's. I miss them. I miss the look of them. I do miss the look of them. I mean, they were. I found the ride quite uncomfortable. It was quite rattly beforehand. I actually think it's quite smooth now compared, to what it was. And of course, some people did buy some. One of the trains was left at the park. The park sold about half of it off. Angry Birds Land. The problem with Angry Birds Land is it was redundant when it went in. Let alone now, it's even more redundant now. I don't know. This is the problem you see with IPs. IPs are very good until they go out of date. Time-tested IPs. I don't know. Let us know, guys. Do you think Merlin have any time-tested IPs? IPs that will last the length of time? Trying to think in my head now. Trying to rack one up. Apart from Lego, there's one. Do they have any? I don't think they do. I think you could argue Thomas the Tank Engine's been around since early 80s. Very, very popular, will last the length of time. Gruffalo, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Lego, obviously Lego is, they got it quite lucky with Lego, didn't they? Yeah, Merlin, no investment in Fort Park, some dodgy things. Gruffalo might last. Saw, I don't know how Saw's still going. I don't know how that's still going. Not a clue. Walking Dead's on its last legs, I'll be honest with you. Excuse the pun, but that's on its last legs. Elmer. I never heard of Elmer. Yeah, I mean, if Thomas Tank Engine goes out of fashion, that is the end of Drake Manor. Arguably, I mean, Peppa Pig doubled the attendance of Portland's Park. Doubled the attendance of Portland's Park, Peppa Pig World. Which is absolute mental. I was surprised about Merlin being bought out last year. Yeah, and yet we've seen nothing really of it, have we? Seen nothing really of it. I heard they renew Saw. I believe they did renew Saw. I think it was on a 10-year agreement, so I think it was renewed last year for another 5 years. May sent me lights on Clip of the Nights and Toon Blast. I'm surprised all the targets are still in there, not activated instead of removed. They still work. They still work. Also, the guy with the axe is still there. You can't see him. No, you can't see him anymore. You can hear the sounds, but there's no lighting effects at all anymore with the axes being thrown. I don't want to say that Toon Blaster was 100% ready when it opened at the beginning of the season. I still think there were a few tweaks to make. So it'll be really interesting to see. What happens with Toon Blaster. But no, oddly enough, the vlog coming up on Wednesday, you'll see my review of Toon Blaster and some of the things we did notice in there. New Land at Portland's the rip-off of Radiator Springs from Cars. Yeah, I agree. It is. Difference is that they'll rip it off really, really well. They will rip it off really, really well. Lots of money being given by the new Merlin to refurbish. Yeah, well, this is the first year. Arguably, Alton Towers got a new ride, Legoland have got some investment, Chessington got some investment, and everyone's forgotten about Fort Park. So where is their new coaster? And it's difficult to say because Fort Park still have arguably 5 world-class coasters that would fit into most places. You could argue would fit into most places. So it's difficult, isn't it? it's difficult because Chesington haven't had a coaster since 2004, and they don't even have a world-class ride, let alone a world-class coaster. You know, Rush arguably is a world-class ride as well. So difficult one, difficult one. Who actually needs the investment? That's kind of what we need to look at. Which part would you say is best for a hyper 3-year-old? He's quite short. I have heard Fort Park. Yeah, don't take him to Fort Park, Andrew. Legoland, maybe Chesington. Chesington have a nice zoo, so it's quite relaxing to move away from the rides. But Legoland, 100% for a 3-year-old, I would say. I think Angry Birds Land will be light read theme into Amity. It wouldn't take much to get rid of Angry Birds. But, get rid of Angry Birds, you probably lose the cinema. Dreamland used to be a fantastic theme park back in the 80s. Yes, Benny, I rode the Looping Star down in Dreamland. I think it was the early 90s, actually. Yeah, it was a fantastic park. The atmosphere down there was electric, absolutely electric. We've not had a coaster over 2,800 foot of track at Fort Park. They're not very long, are they? I think Colossus got to be longer than that, isn't it? I think Colossus might be slightly longer than that, but yeah, it's been a long time. To be fair, Fort hasn't opened at all this season. No, to be fair, we are being quite critical of Fort not having much investment, but you know, there's a lot of refreshes we saw at Chesington, which we didn't know about. We didn't know about them at all. So yeah, it's a real, you know, we're not really sure. Philip, thanks for stopping by. Maybe a whole refresh is a bit entailed. Yeah, the recent negative reviews in the community, maybe they'll get it back. I think Chesington will get some good reviews this year. Again, hopefully everything opens. Really hope it's opened. I think they'll get some good reviews this year. They'll put GCI. Yeah, I'd love to see a GCI at any of the parks, to be honest. But I think Fort Park, the problem is there's so much building over Fort Park. You know, I've said it before, all the lovely people that said Project 2020, it's never happening. It takes a long time to plan and do these. There's no Project 2021 either, particularly with the park being, you know, shut at the beginning of the year now. We've got to argue, will there be a Project 2022? Or has all the investment been put back a year apart from probably Legoland? It's an interesting question. But I think Fort Park needs to put an RMC up. They can't get an RMC up. They've got to. Loggers Leap. Problem is, I think it's going to be cheaper to dismantle Loggers Leap when they're redeveloping the area than what it is to dismantle Loggers Leap, leave the area as it is, and then redevelop it further down the line. So I think there is a strategy behind it. I want to say there's a strategy behind it. I don't know what that strategy is at the moment, but I think there's probably a strategy behind it, to be honest with you. I really want to find the old Chesington map. I can't find the Chesington map anywhere. I don't remember buying that. Jesus Christ. You don't need to look through things, you just think, wow, I haven't seen any of this in ages. Absolute ages. That's how I feel about looking through some of these tubs. I've got to have a closer look through some of this. I really have got to have a look through some of this. I like the part Barry Island has Rise designed. I really wanted to go to Barry Island. I don't know why I haven't been. Imagine going back to Thorpe and Slammer's gone, Logger's gone, sign up, teasing new development. Yeah. But we all know, sadly, that's not going to happen this year. Why don't we get massive coasters like the US? Well, they'll all blame height restrictions, but I think Fort Park could do a 150-foot coaster, big 50 to 80 foot, and still have a big coaster. Just seems strange that, you know, all the effort that went into Nemesis in 1994 hasn't really been replicated, has it? To be honest, RMC is feasible. Some sort of conversions have dropped under 100 foot, I believe. Yeah, RMC, you can probably RMC anything if you really want to put your mind to it. But I think Fort Park have got to be looking for a huge one. I reckon they'll rip out the cinema and build a scare maze. Maybe this year, Fright Nights at Fort Farm. I think the problem with Fort Farm is I think a lot of it's flooded now because of recent ones. But yeah, the cinema, you might be onto something there. The Screenplex was awful. Do you think the Cobra area will be themed at Portons? Yeah, I think the problem with that was obviously they didn't have planning permission, did they? So they were lucky to actually keep the ride there. So I wonder how they would go about theming it. I bet they're wishing they were theming when they did all that now, because you know the effort that's gone in Storm Chase was just mad. Airtime machine, yeah, anything really. What's your favourite roller coaster ride? Technically, it's Nemesis. But I love Vampire. I grew up with Vampire. I reckon Cobra Air will be the next area to be themed, and they teased it in the past. Yeah, they have mentioned it. Portland Spark have mentioned it in the past. I've got so many maps. Honestly, I was trying to find the 2001 Chesington map. It's such a rare map. Bloody ages to find it. But it's a bit of a car crash. Oh. Amazing how much rubbish I've got, it really is. So we wanted to do a very different stream today. I wanted to sort of have a slightly different stream. Let's see this. I wanted to do something very different, and I don't know how many. I don't know, as I said, how many geeky people actually collect all this stuff. So let me know what you've got. But yeah, love it, absolutely love it. Would you like to see Nemesis Subterra open? Never got to ride it myself. Which is a bit boring. But at the same time, I don't think there was any need to close it. They had 4 drop towers in there. There was always a queue. Drop towers are quite punchy. Storyline wasn't terrible, but again, much like 13, they built it up to be something it just wasn't. Are you going to the Tornado Springs press event? I was. It's been cancelled. We've had an email from the park to say that's been postponed, shall we say. That's been postponed. Seems like a waste of space leaving it as a season scare maze. Yeah, tell me about it. Luke, hi. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. What was the best theme park you've ever visited? It would be Disney. I think Animal Kingdom would fit very, very high on there. I never wanted to go to Disney when I went to Florida. I just wanted to go to Universal and SeaWorld and places like that. But Disney is just, on a whole different level to anything we got here. And this is why I get disappointed when I go around on the Gruffalo and nothing moves, or if it does, it just sort of goes like that, and then like that. And then, yeah, don't get me started on it. Because it's so much better. When I say opening weekend in Blackpool, did you manage to get on a lot? Yeah, we did, actually. We got on quite a lot in Blackpool. We had a really good time. Unlike last year, which was bloody awful. Yeah, we got on quite a lot. I was able to construction on Nemi was being built. Oh, I'd love to have seen that. Walton Towers needs more flat rides. It really does. I don't care what anyone says. Walton Towers needs something to do, because I get bored of Walton Towers after I've done the roller coasters and Hex. I'd like to see the Nemesis Subterra drop towers brought aside of a retheme, and places like Blade. Well, I kind of hope Blade would be coming back. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest, that it hasn't. Luke, do I play Planet Coaster? Yes. Generation EDM, yes, there is a Planet Coaster series, and there is a new one starting. Shortly, very shortly. So keep an eye out for that. Have I done Disneyland Paris? I haven't done Disneyland Paris yet. No, I was kind of waiting for their ride lineup to get slightly better, which I think it's got now. I could probably justify going now. I think I'd have to take the boys. Kurt, you fancy going to Disneyland Paris? Do you feel Valhalla will make a good scare attraction in 2021? They used Icon Journey to Hell last year. I completely missed all of the Blackpool haunted stuff. I hadn't read anything about it, and I have no idea. But yeah, Valhalla would have been a great scare attraction, a great thing, to be honest. The Vikings, it really would. Maybe Blade replacement like Chesington. Yeah, don't think it's going to be a good size, sadly. Have you done Gardaland? No, sadly not. Merlin Park, I think we get half price, don't we, for Gardaland, if I'm not mistaken. Exactly the same as me, mate. My first part was Pleasurable Hills in 1985, but the first part that got me hooked was Six Flags Great America. Yeah, this is it. And I wouldn't say all the American parks. I've seen some of the other American parks. I wouldn't say they're all sort of, you know, any better than the UK ones. But some of them are spectacular. Some of them really are. Imagine Scare Actors and Valhalla. God, I'd love to see them. Luke, do you prefer fun fairs or theme parks? I said this on the last screen, Luke. So I'm not one of these people that go, I prefer that, I prefer that. As a general rule, I go to more theme parks because they're consistent. I know where they are. I know when I can go. But they offer very different things. I've never understood the people that go, I have to do this, I have to do this, I don't like those, I don't like those. If you want a good roller coaster, you've got to go to a theme park. If you want a Stealth, you want a Nemesis, you want a Kamali or something like that, you have to go to a theme park. If you want thrill rides and you want to, find your super spins or your KMG XXLs or, even an X Drive or something like that, you need to go to a fair. So they both have a place. They both have a place. You look at Carter's Classic Steam Fair. Oh, yeah. They've all got a place. Disney changed everything for me. Yeah, it did for me as well. The ride line up in Paris, I went in February or before the lockdown. Disneyland Park was very good. Yes, and the expansion is looking very, very good as well. What is the worst theme park you've been to? Adventure Wonderland down in Bournemouth. Awful. There we go, look, he's on it, a bit further down. I don't go to fairs because they're all the same, and this is a bit of a danger with some of the fairs, is that, you might rock up and just see Twister, Waltzer, Dodgems, Miami. And that's, if you're going to like Hop-ins, Hull, Leeds, Goose Fair, that's when you start seeing, a real spectacular lineup and a good price as well. I'm not going to include Winter Wonderland in this. Yeah, Generation, Adventure Wonderland, god awful park. How it's still open. I don't wish places to be closed, but oh my god, what an awful one. Rotor Cage, I love a rotor cage. Not a fan of the fairs. The rides feel unsafe. I can think of a few theme park rides sadly that feel like that as well. Always go back to Magnum Colossus on this one where I felt I was going to crash into a mountain. I love parks that have a good mix of coasters and fun fair rides. Which was Fancy Island. Yeah, I tell you what, Fancy Island, I really want to get back to Fancy Island. Really want to get back there this year. And of course, it's owned by Showman as well, so it's owned by fair people. Did you do submission at Towers and the Bone Shaker? So Anthony, I did submission. We talk about uncomfortable rides. Submission's right up there. And funny enough, I went when Bone Shaker was open, and both times I went, Bone Shaker was shut. Both times it was shut. Mega Spins always pops up at our local fairs up north. For those who watched the Leeds vlog, the Mega Spin was shut. I didn't get on it. I didn't get on the other version. Can't remember what it's called, Ride UK, whatever the one was called down here. That was also shut when I last went there, so I'm destined not to go on that in the last year. I have been on one before. They're unique. They are quite special. Stargate, yes, that's it. Stargate, that's the one. It's funny because as a kid I went to Florida and hating Disney. We spent our time at Universal and Busch Gardens. This was in the 90s though. The only Disney park we liked was Epcot. Yeah, I mean, this was my opinion. This was my opinion of Disney until I got out there in 2014. And, you've got to like your dark rides and things, but, Universal is Harry Potter is very, very special. Very, very special. Very special indeed. I think that Adventure Wonderland will survive this, sadly. Can't imagine the park doing well before this. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even bring myself to go for 5 a weekend. I couldn't even bring myself to go for 5 a weekend last time. There's some new rides at Flamingo Land. What is your favourite? Mumbo Jumbo. I love Mumbo Jumbo, but Velocity is a very close second. I'm doing a YouTube channel very soon. Make sure you comment, Michael. We'll come and have a look at it. Webmaster 11, any idea why original Zodiac never came back to Fort Park? It was proper themed, it looked great. That's because it had an accident, didn't it? I don't know if it went somewhere, but the repairs, it never got repaired right, which is why they bought the one from Drayton Manor, which is why it looks like it does. If you peel off the Fort Park signs on the side, I think it still says Drayton Manor underneath. Luke, do you like fishing? Never been fishing. Don't like Harry Potter, fair enough. Last time I went was Jaws, E.T., King Kong, and Back to the Future. So I missed Jaws. I enjoyed E.T., I enjoyed that a lot. And Back to the Future had shuts. Sadly. Opinions on Walking Dead the ride. Better than X. Falls on from Hero. You know what? Hero is one of those rides where, it's not the greatest, it's not the best, but, you've got to stand back sometimes and think, this is a unique coaster we have in the UK. There's no other Hero in the UK. There's a couple around the world, but, there's no other Hero in the UK. So yeah, I don't find it intolerable. I find it okay. It's not something I'd buy if I own a theme park, but I fully get the marketing behind it, and I think it's done the park a world of good. Just wish they'd run more cars. Jaws was amazing. I heard Jaws was amazing. Do I think the thing I can't say will affect the UK industry? Yes, especially if it goes on for as long as what they're saying it's going to go on for. Kurt, you're right. You're right. You can get into Adventure Island a couple of times last year for £5. Why would you go to Adventure Wonderland for £5? To be fair, it's a little bit closer. But yeah, why would you? Would you get rid of tidal wave to bring back loggers? Not unless it had fresh water. One thing I hated about loggers was coming off smelling of pond water. There's nothing worse. And I think that's why the park mainly got rid of that and the other one as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Alton Towers say they cannot have red water at Nemesis. If this official is just a rumour, well, they have said it impacts the environment, but they got away with it for 25 years. 25, 21, 20. They've got away with it for a long time. So I don't believe them. Walking Dead, the original X, No Way Out. Yeah, I think it is. If Walking Dead went backwards, actually, I think it would be better if it went backwards. I really do. Really do think it would be better if it went backwards, but it just had no theme next time. You just sat there in the dark. I just didn't get it. Yes, they should be environmentally friendly, guys. Works out 1 per minute in the UK. I reckon they're trying to save money. That turned out the fire at Wickerman. Well, let's hope they don't. Donation. Gage's Fun Fair videos. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. UK fun fairs are very, very safe. Just look at the smiling shop. Yeah, we could go to and fro on these. Obviously, there's, accidents are highly unfortunate either at theme parks or fairs. Super Spin obviously had someone fall out of it last year. The Smiler incident, it's high on the list. Theme parks and fairs are as safe as each other. You've got more chance of dying on the way there. Luke, have you been to Adventure Island? Yes, one of my favourite theme parks. Time Machine is my favourite flat ride. Because I can't find a good top scan these days, a really good top scan. And Time Machine is near, I nearly passed out every time I go on it. Portland's my #1 park in the UK. I've never had a bad day there. I love the direction of the park ahead and theme. I can't remember the last time I visited Merlin Park and enjoyed it. Well, you know what, Ronnie? Yeah, Portland's. I've only ever had one bad day at Portland's, and that was because of some rubbish food, to be honest. Other than that, I had great days at Portland's, and I've had some good and bad days at Merlin Park. But Chessington, I've had some cracking days at Chessington this year, bearing in mind it's hardly open at all. Who would spend more than 5 minutes there? Works out £1 a minute. Yeah, that's a fair point. To be fair, it takes you 15 minutes to get in. They're so poorly organised. Portland's is amazing. I don't have kids, so I can go. However, spend their money right. Well, I think actually with this opening this year, you can get away with going without kids, to be honest with you. Probably the preview of Infamous Inferno, Last Good Day at Merlin Park. I don't even remember that. I remember going on Inferno the week it opened, but I don't remember that. I think the replacement recommend screens or projections instead. Hope can't see fire going because Scorpion Express still has fire. It does. Scorpion Express used to have some smoke as well, and the thing still moves out. It doesn't burn smoke anymore. I had heard the screens are gone, but again, all the screen reporting and things were gone during previews before the park opened. There was a massive difference in Chessington between Friends and Family Day and park opening day. Massive difference. So yeah, everything they're doing, it'd be really interesting to see if some of these parks are working over the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks. Again, I don't know what the possibility is of doing that. I know Chessington will obviously have to have people in because of the animals. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'd love to see the overhaul of the log flume at Hayline, the whole area could really do with clean up some theming and a more powerful hosepipe. I think the problem is that it seems that someone, from what I hear, someone wants the park down in Hayling and someone doesn't, which is why it's getting worse and worse investment year on year. And I know they're having problems getting their new rides up and running. They were supposed to be open in February and they're not. Did I go to Gulliver's? I went to Gulliver's in Milton Keynes. That wasn't a good day. I found it, bearing in mind it's a kids' park, I found it dirty, I found it disgusting. We had horrible food. There wasn't a highlight ride that I can go back now and think, that was incredible. They had the Python back then. I don't think they've got the Python anymore now. I don't know, have you been to Gulliver's? I'm quite interested in the new one. We went past the new one that was opening. It's up Leeds way as well, and I'm quite interested to see they've got a 360 gyro swing opening. So quite interested in looking at that, but it doesn't look like it's been plonked in a field. Oblivion Noise has been turned off. Well, actually, I think it's back on now, just a lot more quiet, but it was turned off, yeah. I'm sure the locals have moved, to be honest. I think they've moved. Scorpion Smoke Machine was replaced with 2020. I was talking to staff. I haven't seen it yet, but I really hope it is. Really hope it is. Have you been to Rainbow Park? Nope, I've heard of it. That is sadly as far as it goes on that one. I want to know what happened to Log Flume at Towers. It must be sitting in a shed somewhere. Come on, Lightwater Valley, surely get for free. No, they actually posted pictures of a digger going through the log flume when they were doing the Wicker Man construction. So it's definitely gone. It's in many pieces, and of course some of the cars are still at the park. Planning to make a trip to New Gulliver's. I'd like to see New Gulliver's Park. I would like to see it, definitely. I don't think it was due to open until summer anyway, so they might not actually be too far behind schedule. Cool days for the summer, yeah. Have you been to Six Flags? No, I'll see that. No, it's all my to do is my issues with the American parks. I wanted to wait for my boys to be tall enough before going. Last thing I want to do is drag Kurt and Cody, particularly Cody, over there to find out he's not tall enough to go on some of the rides. I think he's okay now, and we were going to book a holiday for next year. Potentially, we still will, but obviously with everything going on, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with the flume. Don't know why they didn't give it away, to be honest with you. Don't know why they didn't give it away. Right, well, Jesus, we've been going a long time, people. I wanted to show you some of my memorabilia today. I hope you enjoyed some of the maps and bits. And again, let us know. Let us know what maps and things you got. If there's anything you want to see on the channel coming up, is there anything you particularly want to see on the live stream as well? Anything you want me to try, then by all means, please hit me in any of the comments, and we will try and oblige. Sadly, I'm not seeing Kurt and Cody at the moment because their mother is a high risk, and I work in a convenience store, so I'm more likely to contract than anyone else, sadly. So Kurt's on the chat. Fortunately, he's still awake. But yeah, anything you want to see. Planet Coaster Live. I don't know how Planet Coaster Live will work, but there is Planet Coaster coming. The problem is at the moment I'm streaming on my phone because I was going to start doing some live streaming, but it wasn't really very well planned, and I don't have a webcam. We'd love to see you put some map photos on your website or something. The website themeuk.com has got all of the Chessington and Foot Park maps on it. It's got them all on. You can see the inside, the outside. You can see all the old pictures and everything. Pretty much I've just showed you is all on there. The other stuff isn't on there at the moment, but it might be a long-term thing. Yeah, webcams are a little bit impossible to buy. I used to have the VR for my Samsung S8. My S10 doesn't fit it, so I haven't got a VR at the moment. Park Live, yeah, funny enough, Park Live streams. That's a game, isn't it? It's a game. I don't know how. I have to do some investigations on how to stream the games live. But I am playing Planet Coaster. I'm playing Planet Zoo. I'm going to buy Animal Crossing. Everyone's buying Animal Crossing, so I'm going to have to buy Animal Crossing as well. But yeah, we're thinking of some. We are trying to think of some different things for the live streams on here. you know, I don't know whether you want us to do a quiz or not. Some of the quizzes do really well. We've always done a quiz on the channel, the Monday morning one. Some of them do really well. Some of them get instant dislikes right across the right across the board. So who knows? Who knows? Selling Animal Crossing, I don't get it. No, well, funny enough, I don't get it either. But I kind of want to try it. I don't know why. I don't get what it's about. I really don't get what it's about. But yeah, please leave your comments below. Please leave your comments below. The thing is, from Planet Coaster absolutely kills PC on large parks. Yes, well, since I did my last Planet Coaster series, I've actually upgraded my graphics card, so I'm kind of hoping it works a little bit better. Kind of hoping it is. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for coming today. As I said, any ideas, please leave them in the comments below, because we want to stream something at the end of the day that people are going to watch. That's the whole plan. If you want us to do a quiz, we'll do a quiz. Kurt will write up the questions. He's doing nothing at the moment. His GCSE's been cancelled. What did I get? What did I get? Hold on. Wasn't top range by any means. It's bloody expensive. Bye for the people leaving. I am just going to quickly check my graphics card. What did I get in the end? What did I get? I got a Radeon RX 570 in the end. That's what I got. Can't remember, but it's about 3 times the spec of the one I had. 3 times the spec of the one I had. But yes, thank you very much for joining, guys. As I said, please leave your comments below what you want to see on the channel. You know, we've probably got about 6 weeks of stuff to fill. We have got vlogs coming over the next couple of days. We are going to start Planet Coaster. So fingers crossed we can keep some comment going. But thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you soon.